After 24 years of Grand Prix racing, this has been the worst start to a MotoGP season for Valentino Rossi. Joining me is Lewis Duncan to discuss how he's got on so far. What's been going wrong with his season so far, Lewis? It's been a bit of a nightmare for him, hasn't it?
It has been a bit of a nightmare. There's been, a couple of problems with Rossi himself adjusting to the 2019 Yamaha. He's not quite found a setting that he's happy with the bike. Crashes as well, a few crashes in races, one of which wasn't his fault. It was the Barcelona incident with Jorge Lorenzo that Rossi was just unfortunate to get caught up in. But, there is something fundamentally wrong perhaps with Rossi, because the Yamaha has proven to be a race-winning package this year in the hands of his teammate Maverick Vinales, who won at Assen. Fabio Quartararo on the Petronas SRT bike has been on the podium a couple of times this season, 3 pole positions. So Rossi, it seems to be a mixture of things, but it's harder this year than it has been in previous years to maybe blame the bike on Rossi's struggles, because it is a proven package this year so far.
It's always difficult to defend a rider when their teammates are doing so well. So let's have a little look at the driver market situation, which is probably fueling a bit of this pressure on Valentino Rossi, if there is any pressure. Talk to us about this new up-and-coming rider who's coming through, in particular one rider who's putting a lot of pressure on Valentino Rossi's situation at the moment.
Yeah, Fabio Quartararo came into Grand Prix racing hailed as the next Marc Marquez. He had a stellar junior career in the CEV Moto3 Championship. He dominated that class for 2 years, and in fact he was allowed to come into Moto3 below the required age limit. He was 15 at the time when the age limit's 16. So this is the kind of impact that Quartararo made on the world as he was coming up. But his career sort of stalled as soon as he got into Grand Prix racing. A couple of difficult years in Moto3. His first year in Moto2 wasn't anything special. Then he had this amazing turnaround last year in Moto2 where he got that famous win at Barcelona, which really propelled him towards that Petronas SRT ride with Yamaha. And he's taken to the bike like a duck to water. It's been an incredible season from the Frenchman. He's been quick from the off, 3 pole positions, 2 podiums, back-to-back podiums in Assen in Germany, and he really has emerged as the potential future heir to Valentino Rossi. I mean, we all thought it was maybe Johann Zarco at one time. Of course, Yamaha sort of burnt that bridge with the Tech 3 rider by not giving him works machinery last year. They've learned from that mistake. They've given both Franco Morbidelli and Quartararo 2019 bikes, and Quartararo's making it work for him. He's had a sensational start to this campaign. So if you look at the stats from the last time Rossi was on the podium in Austin, Fabio Quartararo, I'll just check my stats here, has scored 50 points relative to Valentino Rossi's 27, and that includes 2 DNFs. So it has been a really sensational start from Quartararo to this 2019 campaign, and he really is now aligning himself to be potentially a factory Yamaha rider in 2021. We have these contract negotiations coming up pretty soon. Next year is the final year of these current 2-year contracts for all the factory riders, and Quartararo has to be favourite for all the manufacturers. And I think this is where Rossi's future becomes doubtful with Yamaha, because Yamaha now have to move to sign Quartararo, I think, because everyone's going to be after that Frenchman. They would be mad not to. He's so quick. And Yamaha need to have that future rider. He's only 20 years old right now, so if they can bag him, then they've got another potential Rossi on their hands. That's so many years ahead of Quartararo where Yamaha can mould him and develop him and, even perhaps surpass Rossi's tally of world championships.
If you've been following Autosport.com, you'll know that Yamaha team boss Lynn Jarvis has had a lot to say about this situation at the moment. Talk to us about Yamaha. What have they said about their sort of outward position on Rossi and where they are with him? And also, is there any chance we'll see him drop this season, or do you think they'll see him through to the end of his contract next year?
He won't be dropped at the end of this season. He will carry on. He will see out his contract. It would be a PR disaster from Yamaha to drop Rossi at the end of this season, because Yamaha need Rossi to sell bikes. That's what they've been doing since he joined the squad in 2004. And of course, they were given that gift when he came back after 2 difficult years at Ducati in 2013. So Rossi is really a key figure for Yamaha's marketing department and also for MotoGP as well. But they do now need to look at a future without Valentino Rossi, a very immediate future without Valentino Rossi. And as I mentioned, with the contract situations as they are, Yamaha now do seem to be looking at that future seriously. They know they have to, because they can't possibly wait for Rossi to go, I'll maybe stay for 1 more year. That'll put them out of sync with the rest of the factory riders. They need to almost make the decision for him. And I think now Lynn Jarvis sort of hinted in our interview with him that they are now going to start pushing him maybe just towards the exit and try and build a future now without him.
If you've been to a MotoGP race, then you will have seen the sea of yellow and blue and the number 46 absolutely everywhere. He's massive. You can't miss Rossi anywhere in a MotoGP round. Can the championship survive without him, and how big a loss will he be to the championship when he does actually leave? Because, as we've already mentioned, he's so key to how MotoGP operates. They're almost intrinsically linked in a way, Rossi and MotoGP. He's been around for that long. He drives the branding, a lot of the team wear, you know, all that kind of stuff. You're always seeing Rossi around. So what's next? Can the championship survive without him? That's
really been the question posed for the last 10 years, because you look 10 years ago when Rossi last won a world championship, MotoGP wasn't really in a healthy state. The financial crisis had hit it hard, and there was a worry that if Rossi was to walk away, you know, the championship could very well collapse. It's in a much better position now. The racing we have is just sensational. If you look again at the statistics, I think the top 10 closest top 15 finishes in races now, which top 15 is your point scorers, all bar one race are all races from 2017, 2018 or this year, which just goes to show you how competitive it is. And that's a testament to the work Dorna have done over the past 5-6 years, which started with the CRTs, moved on with the open class bikes, bringing in the spec electronics. All of that has allowed the manufacturers to close up to one another, brought back Suzuki and Aprilia and KTM, and the championship has benefited from it. Rossi is still a massive draw. That cannot be doubted. You see crowds of yellow everywhere you go, from, you know, the furthest corners of the world. Rossi is a big draw, but Dorna now are sort of going with the marketing strategy of come for Rossi, stay for the racing, and I think that's really the key now. And what might be his final year next year is to, you know, use him as that marketing tool still, bring the fans in and then show them, look at the racing we've got here, it's excellent, this championship can survive without him. Of course, Rossi's always going to be a presence, because there is talks he's going to come in with his MotoGP team. Of course, he runs them in Moto3 and Moto2. That'll likely be some sort of Yamaha partnership, but it won't be for a couple of years yet, because we have a current contract with the current satellite teams, so it'll be 2021, 2022 at the earliest we'll see that. But I think MotoGP will be fine without Rossi.